Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Radio Redux. I am of course Kevin, welcoming you to show 249. Yes, we're nearly at show 250, where I assume I'll be doing something special, I guess, or relatively important. It's kind of a big landmark. We'll have to see, won't we? But for now, we are still going through our personal greatest games of all time. The lists being compiled are being done so by myself, Kevin, of course, but I'm being joined by Earthart and ShadowFox and Turbo, the Trinity, who you normally hear at the end of the year discussing their games of the year on the LMC cast, which will be back next week, incidentally, if you're listening on Radio Sega. For now, though, there's only a few games left for us to go through, starting with ShadowFox. But before we get to that, let's have a couple of pieces of music, shall we? When Domz Attack. And that is from Beyond Good and Evil. And following that, we've got We Ain't Came to Lose from TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Enjoy those, and I will see you with the other guys straight afterwards.
10 seasons.
Over 200 shows.
Seriously, can we stop yet?
You're listening to Kevin on Radio Redux.
Full alert! Full alert! Shields up! Activate the protective barriers! Seal all doors!
Now I'm here to beat you with full force, mess up your facial features. Hasta la vista, I'm selling all y'all little Caesars. All y'all stuff your face with is pizza. Pizza crack like a hard-boiled egg on Easter. See these muscles on me? I could beat your teacher. I'll defeat Leonardo, y'all become the weakest. I take off all of your mass and dismantle your features. Shredder, I cross the line like a letter. Smash all of you turtles, put you back together. Indeed, I squish turtles like a tight girdle. Any obstacle, I clear it like a high hurdle. My stomach cringes for all of you fake ninjas. Fighting you are winless, show you what revenge is. Diabolical move, strike with mad vengeance. Ask Splinter, he know I'm coming with bad intentions. We ain't came to lose. 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 I think it's time to call a war. Still face foot playing villains and more. With heroes in a half shell going to war. Got the city under siege and they holding the fort. Got extra large pizza boxes all on the floor. Get sized up by a negative force. Your time's up on whatever you thought. Individual starving the floor. So the samurai swords on point for the cause. Dangerous metals highlight the reign of terror. The twilight meets the reign of Shredder. All for one and train together. Through dark clouds and the strangest weather. Breaking news, the front line sprayed with ooze. No sunshine, only dangerous rules. We fly with nunchucks that'll tame your crews. And lace the enemies, we ain't came to lose. We ain't came to lose.
Radio Redux.
It's down to me now.
You're up.
And
Yeah.
then one last after. Well, this game, what a thrill it is. It's a game that you've recently played, Turbo, as well, actually.
Oh, really?
And it's a game that's also getting a remake. Any guesses?
Oh yes,
I
know exactly what it is.
I'm trying to remember because I'm trying to remember what
it is
I played.
clicked for Earth
Oh,
hard.
I have no idea. How do I? Do we do this
How do we-
subtly or do we do this not subtly? LMC don't do subtle that well.
No, they just
Start singing ShadowFox.
Ooh, what a thrill!
Ah, right. Okay then.
Inside
Just that one line, one note obviously helped.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's of course Snake Eater. I absolutely adore the Metal Gear franchise. I would say that Metal Gear Solid 3 is probably my second most played, but that was just because I loved Metal Gear Solid in general and played 2 so many times. But then 3 came out and it was like, wow, look at all this. Look at this actual stealth camouflage system. Look at these areas I can walk around in. Sneaking through the enemies, like shooting off the bridge supports and watching them plummet 50 feet into the waters below, and I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. If it didn't happen on screen, they're not dead.
Officially, no.
Officially, no.
According to your stats.
yeah, their corpses just disappear after after they've been put down, like so.
Yeah, well, as I'd say, you can tell how many enemies you've killed at least by a certain point, depending on a certain boss
Yes.
battle.
Mm-hmm.
Boss battle quote.
Yeah, quotations. Yes.
Yes, although I believe the previous bosses will always be in there, regardless of whether you actually killed them or not.
Yes, the previous bosses are always there. But no, it's a Hideo Kojima game. Probably one of the more grounded ones.
Wow.
I was going to say that. Were you saying that in such subtlety that it was like?
I'm trying to determine what level of if you think of all of the games, it's like, okay, well, there's this crazy thing in this one, this crazy one in that one. It's like Metal Gear Solid has this aspect of, is it techno magic or is it actual magic? Because the two very much blend and blur a lot of the time.
Because nanomachines, son.
Nanomachines, son.
Yeah.
Yes. Like the sniper who doesn't need to eat because he photosynthesizes his own food.
Is that what the end did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the whole point of the end. Is he basically?
He can just synthesize his own. Oh
Yeah.
Jesus!
That's why he doesn't
I
need to
missed
move.
that part on my playthrough. Jesus Christ!
Didn't they? Is that what they then went back and did with Quiet or whoever she was? Was she
Oh
the
no,
same?
with Quiet, it was she was designed that way because her skin.
Oh, we know why she was designed.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
we know. We know
exactly why she was designed.
Yeah, no,
that
there-
way. Oh, sorry.
It's like
For her,
she
it
could
was-
only live
no,
with
yeah,
the sun's like hit her
She
skin or
did-
something like that.
There was the end DNA
The
related
parasites.
to that.
Parasite.
It was It was related to that.
Right.
Because don't
Okay.
they retroactively go and say, oh yeah, in one of the for Metal Gear Solid 5 stuff, they go, it's like, oh yes, the reason is because the end had parasites and we injected those parasites into something like that. I'm sure there's
The exact specifics I'm not certain. I mean, who can really keep track of
Always
anything?
reassuring. Always reassuring. Well, that guy had parasites, so we've injected them into you. Symbiotic parasites that allow him to photosynthesize. But yeah, I mean, then you also had like the pain
The pain.
The ability to control hornets.
Well, wasps. Yeah.
Yeah, because of course, and the fear with his long tongue.
And the easy way to beat him.
The fear, the pain.
That was the point. All of them had like emotional names. So you had
the fear,
pain,
the pain,
the sorrow,
the end, the sorrow, the joy,
the inconvenience,
the mild,
and
the fury.
The fury.
Oh yeah.
The astronaut.
Yeah, spaceman. No, spaceman with a flamethrower, which was a concept that was brought in from it was either another game or a movie.
Probably a movie, knowing.
Probably a movie.
Probably a movie of some kind.
Kojima loves his movies.
Kojima for you. He likes his movies.
He's a massive cinephile, isn't he? Kojima?
So,
to be fair, the other thing with MGS3 is there's so many tiny details that there's no reason you would ever figure out.
So defeating the end. For example, how do you want to beat him? Do you want to actually beat him in a sniper fight? Well, how do you want to do that? Well, you can either counter snipe him, and you can use the directional microphone to find out where he is, or you can take off and basically make yourself as visible as possible by wearing the worst camo, and it'll give you the screen will flick to his scope and show how visible you are, and then you know what direction he's in. Alternatively, earlier on, if you go the right route, pick up a sniper rifle, you can shoot him while he's in his wheelchair.
Oh yeah, before the fight even begins.
Yeah, like half a tenth of the game has gone through, and you kill him there, and then you get a codec call. Yeah, the codec call comes through, and it's like, I feel a bit bad about that. And then the colonel's like, don't feel, or the major, he's like, don't feel bad. He's this isn't about honor and giving him a fair fight. You're here to stop the terrorists. It's like, yeah.
I wish I had that foresight.
Isn't there also one that, because sorry, my Metal Gear knowledge is very limited, but isn't the fight with the quote unquote fight with the end, isn't it you can do something and you spend so long doing it that he dies of old age? Is that one of them?
You don't. So either you don't play the game for a week, or you just set your system clock forward a week, and then he just dies of old age.
He just dies of old age.
But there's other small secrets, if in certain areas you'll find food stocks for soldiers.
Yep.
If you blow that food stock up, later on in the game, soldiers will be so distracted by the fact they're hungry they won't notice you. Or you can even bribe them with food, and they'll be like, sod it, I don't care, give me the food, you can go, I don't care. And it's small stuff like that, and it's just they thought about that back then.
There are hidden cutscenes, at one point you get a tracking device in you, and if you don't take it out, you get a cutscene at one point where you and Eva are put in sexually compromising positions where she's actually just trying to get the tracker out of you.
Yeah.
And these are things. It's just these small things. But even then, talking around about the game, the gameplay itself, they perfected what they were going for. Every Metal Gear game was an iteration. Metal Gear Solid 2 was everything Kojima wanted to do in Metal Gear Solid 1, but couldn't do to limitations. And then 3 again iterates on that. So. Yeah, just walk around, throw some guys around, use all the fun weapons.
It's arguably
the Metal Gear Solid series, one man's battle just to get all the damn stuff he wanted to do in the game in the first place.
Yeah.
The thing is, arguably, it is one of the best James Bond games.
Yes,
proper spy games.
What year did that come out?
Yeah. The whole intro is a James Bond-esque... the theme song, Snake Eater, is itself a James Bond-style theme song.
Yeah, sequence,
Yeah, and with the silhouettes and and everything in the intro. Which you can mess around with the intro. If you pressed L1 or something, you could have the whisper of Snake Eater playing through it. And you could change the symbols that floated across the screen.
Oh, and then there's also the fact that, there is information dump on every single item in the game, on every single animal that you can kill and eat. And then there's two versions of it where if you talk to your friend who describes food before you've tried it or after you've tried it.
Yeah, exactly. Get like absolute tiny pieces of detail. Also, the fun little built crossover with Ape Escape.
Oh yes,
that was in the original, which I don't believe that was in the remake. At least
it wasn't. That was something that they cut out of the HD remakes.
No, it's in It's in the PlayStation versions of them.
If it was anywhere, it would be in the PlayStation versions.
Yeah,
but in the Xbox version that I played, or I know for the fact that with the Xbox versions, it wouldn't be in there.
Yeah, no, it is in the PlayStation versions, as I think was snakeboarding, was like
exclusive. Yeah, the snake skateboarding, which because in the Subsistence was the second. I can't remember.
Yeah, the updated version.
Yeah.
Because the third one had it was something else. It was Subsistence and sub.
No, well, the second game had Substance.
And,
the third game had Subsistence.
Yeah.
That was it. I couldn't remember which way round it was.
According to Reddit, the snake versus monkey levels are exclusive to Subsistence and are not in Metal Gear Solid 3 HD.
Oh, isn't
there you go.
I thought they were.
I thought they weren't. I didn't think they weren't. Because I was seeing reviews talking about the series at the time a while back. And
it's not in the Legacy Collection.
No,
we knew it wasn't going to be in the Legacy Collection.
All the things I've got to look up. Does Snake battle a monkey?
Metal Gear Solid, I think it was called.
I was going to say, very clear search history for that there afterwards.
Yeah. They made a whole bunch of trailers with the monkeys and Snake and stuff.
It was a marketing.
It was a big thing
for the original release. Yeah,
makes you question whether they're going to keep like all the Assassin's Creed stuff in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Well, this is the thing with like the re-releases and stuff. Is I'm wondering what's going to stay, what's going to be cut out.
Yeah.
Like the Monster Hunter stuff from Peace Walker and all that.
Yeah.
That's going to probably be gone.
No, they were fun.
They were.
I think you mentioned that recently.
Yeah. Oh no, I think on our last set of episodes we recorded with the remasters we want. Don't worry, ShadowFox, I put Peace Walker in there, which looks like we're going to get now. So.
We are going to get Peace Walker on PC, and I am so happy for it.
Manifested.
I think the power of myself and Jay combined was enough, I think, to summon that into existence.
No, I think because they announced it almost on the day that episode released. I'm going to claim something of it.
Fair enough. You could take a fair share of that.
MGS4 is one I'm more excited for because I have played it. I've still got my copy, but it's hard.
I played your copy.
Did you?
I played your copy because I didn't have it myself.
Did I buy a second copy? I can't remember.
I gave it back. I borrowed it.
But no. Yeah, MGS3 is fantastic, and
MGS3 is.
No, I agree. It was a really good game. Granted, I just had my frustrations with it, being that I was working backwards, or actually no, not technically backwards. It was just prior to that I've been playing multi-stick like action games for years and years and years, and I've gotten comfortable with how games control that way, where the camera is on the left stick and or the right stick and the movement's on the left stick, and it's very kind of like intuitive. And then going back to Metal Gear Solid 3, where it's all different and the aiming's different and stuff like that. It's like
I cannot think of any game that has such a different control scheme to any other kind of like. The Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 have a similar control scheme, obviously, but
because it was still all fixed camera with their original releases.
But outside of that, press R1 to go into first person and press square to shoot, and I'm like, what other game does this? Not a single one I can think of.
It's just a case of memorization of this is the button combination to do this. And it's like you just need to keep remembering how to do that, and then eventually it'll become second nature and whatnot.
I'll tell you what was a complete mess up though, was the Xbox controllers and the PlayStation controllers are different, so they had to be coded. The games had to be coded different. In the PlayStation one, if you're holding a gun up to someone and you want to put it down, you slowly release square because it had like 3 states of being.
Yeah.
It was either pressed, light press, and unpressed. So you could gently put the gun down. The first time I tried to do that on the Xbox version, bang! Bullet to the back of the guy's head. It's like, oop, sorry, because you had to click in the left stick, which was a
Butterfingers.
yeah, that was a very weird experience, and I wonder if I'll say what, because this thing it doesn't look like the new re-releases is going to have controller support. It's going to be controller support only, which fair enough. Some games are pretty much designed with a very specific control scheme in mind, and I don't know how I would really make Metal Gear work on a keyboard with everything you need to do.
Yeah, one thing I will say, and I probably shouldn't advertise channels outside of own, but there is a very good Let's Play of the entire Metal Gear series where they do go into like every Easter egg they can, and like for Metal Gear Solid 5, they basically play the entire game 3 times. They don't. They use save states and stuff.
Yeah.
But they play it, loud. They play it quiet, and then they play it completely bonkers off the wall. Why would you ever think to do it this way? But you can. But the one for MGS3 is really good because he does go into like all these secrets. Like, here's all the different ways you can distract Ocelot in his fight, including just getting a revolver out and spinning it around in front of him, and he'll go, I see you are a connoisseur too.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. I'm actually interested about the Calorie Mate stuff, if that's going to still exist, because that was part of a promotion as well.
That's true. Well, so was the frogs. The Kero stuff was promotion.
Yeah, that was. There's too much in that game to think about, but no, yeah, like, play it if you haven't already. Do so, and you'll soon have 2 options, at least, to decide how you want to play it. I'm very much looking forward to that remake.
I was going to say it would be a more easily accessible option to get it, because currently, right now, it's not as easily accessible as once it was.
No, but they're releasing.
There was an issue, they said, with like copyrighted footage in some of the cutscenes.
Yes.
So yeah, so that it got pulled for a bit, which, well, it's coming back again. We'll see if there's any.
Yeah, it's coming back now. It's like because
I
had to find a blooming version of it, the HD collection on disc, because I thought I could just pick it up on digital download, but no, I forgot they took it out.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of like thinking, I should have waited until the remake now with Alpha.
Delta.
Is it Delta? Sorry,
Delta.
I forgot. I forget my code names and whatnot. It's like, I forgot what the symbols represent. So yeah,
the Greek alphabet.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. This is. I mean, I love MGS3, and I don't know if MGS3 is my favorite because I am torn between that, MGS Peace Walker, and MGS. I really enjoy MGS5.
5 was good. Peace Walker is again great and had co-op and all the other fun stuff.
That's the reason I enjoy it more.
I think the ending of 3 though, again, it got me a little. Again, it was like, oh no, the feels. Like, I actually got to a point where the final thing where it's like, oh, I have to do this. This isn't a cutscene.
Yeah, it's not a cutscene. You have to.
I have to do this.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in that position with other games before, but no, in that scenario, it is more impactful with how the relationship between this version of Snake and his superior,
Naked Snake, and the Joy, their relationship throughout.
Yeah, I feel like
a woman
MGS3
who sacrificed.
I feel like MGS3 has the best balance of. I see what you mean by it's the best grounded. It's the best, I think, balanced story where it still feels like a real story and it's not just fluffed up so much to the point that it's just trying to tell some kind of ridiculous tale. Still feels like a game with a poignant story, whereas MGS4 a little bit story heavy.
Well, it's after. Even I know that after 3, it starts tipping over the balance of, as you say, making a point to maybe being up its own arse a bit too much.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
To be fair, I genuinely still enjoy MGS4. I still think it's a good game because it's still one of the big complaints a lot of people had about the game is you can't with 2 and 3 you can fuck with soldiers royally, and you can't do that in 4. Yeah, you really can. It's just you've got to be a bit more creative with it.
The fun one about 2 is that you could always if you're going to shake down a guard, if you told them to freeze, either they would put their hands up immediately, or they would slowly do it, and they'd go to grab their gun and do a spin.
Yeah.
But they'd always spin the same way. So you do that, go to the side, and they turn and go, "Ha-ha! Oh, you're not there." And they go, "Huh?" And you tell them to freeze again. They go, "Oh, yes!" Ah! you do a ring around the rosy with them. They're like, "What's going on?"
From 16-bit classics to modern epics and everything in between. Join us for more great gaming tunes here on Radio Redux.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
But yeah, I think Metal Gear has had its time in this, and I think it might be best if we get on to our
Final.
The final game, the final fight, as it happens. Welcome to the third game of my 3, which ends in 2. So, I'm not sure how this happened. Terrifyingly, it could have worked out that I ended up with a full set of 5, which all ended in 2.
That would have been hilarious, though.
That would have been quite funny.
I mean,
actually.
to be fair, my final one is technically a second game in a series. It just doesn't have 2 in the title.
Right.
Yeah, you were definitely valving your suggestions there.
Actually, is there anything which is free? No.
Yeah, so you have valved your list very well.
There's one which you could say is technically a free, but
Nah.
nah. But so yes, along with Outrun 2 and Sonic Adventure 2 is, like I say, the final fight. Turrican 2!
Yay!
Yay! The game, it's so important to me. I spent the most money I've ever spent on a video game in my life to get the Ultra Collector's Edition from Strictly Limited, because it was finally being brought to there. If you've followed us on Twitch, you'll know my ongoing agonies in terms of getting that to me.
Oh, don't we all know?
I waited like 3 years in the end to get this damn thing to me. I've not played it yet, but it's gonna be going on that Switch.
Well, I'm currently in the same kind of like ballpark recently with one of the games that I talked about here, Grim Fandango, with Limited Run Games and their physical version of that. And it's like, okay, still waiting on that, guys. It's like, when's that coming out? I hope to God I'm not waiting as long as you did, Kev.
Yeah, I just love the whole nonsense of them sending an email and just like, would you be interested in these other things that we're doing? It's like, would I the fuck? Get out of here!
I'm currently getting that.
Here! Unsubscribe!
I'm currently getting that with First Four Figures at the moment. They keep throwing me coupons. It's like, buy our stuff. Pay. You bought over $2,000 worth of stuff from us earlier.
Like, oh God, wait! I spent over $2,000.
I'm hoping your next First Four Figure comes soon, though.
Here's this character you like.
I'm older now.
It's now we've made it more life size, like we made the previous one more life size, and the previous one more life size. It's 12 foot tall. It will you'll need to knock through a wall in order to have this thing up.
Have a new installation in your house.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't joke, because that may have happened.
No,
to me
it probably
today.
will actually happen at one point.
Oh, absolutely. But yes, Turrican 2, specifically Turrican 2 on the Atari ST, which is where I got mine. If you're an Amiga fan, I don't fucking care. Alright? I don't care if you're like, oh, the Amiga one's better. Fuck off. The Atari ST soundtrack's better.
That's some console elitist kind of like mentality right there.
I'm so tired of reading things saying, oh yes, the Amiga version is the superior version. Yeah, and remind me which of the two, the Atari ST or the Amiga, were professional musicians using because of its music capability.
Apple.
And are still using to this day.
It's a shame we can't have the best of both worlds.
What, the Spectrum? So Turrican 2. It's a platformer. It's a sci-fi shooter. It's many more things besides that. In the distant future, a bunch of just space marines. Let's call them space marines. They're more or less that. They're going around their business. Humanity is spread out among the stars. Some planets they are ambassadors of peace. Some planets they are warriors. Whatever they are, wherever they do, humanity has an influence, and humanity has been noticed. For there is a dark presence lurking in the shadows. Deep behind the darkest of nebulas, there exists an evil malevolence. That is of the machine. A terrifying, purple robotic monstrosity. It stands, oh God knows how many feet high. Let's say 12, it's about that. It leads a machine army which has conquered vast swathes of the stars. Humanity has been noticed. Humanity is a threat, and especially this ship full of marines, this beacon of humanity and its military might. So much so that one day the machine steps forward from the shadows, leading with his army and his battalion of spaceships, and they descend upon this earthly vessel, and they leave everybody dead, except for one man, Bren Maguire, this purple-haired space marine who suffers the indignity. He's wounded, everyone else is dead, and the machine steps forward through into the command area, and the machine grabs, I think, the captain, as was the body of his beloved captain, holds him in the air aloft like a trophy, and with one mechanical foot presses down on the back of Bren Maguire, who tries not to yell out in pain because he will just be killed. The might of the machine raising forth. Humanity is defeated. Well, no, because he didn't finish the job. He didn't finish the job. When all the machines go, Bren Maguire vows revenge. He goes down into the hangar where the experimental Turrican suits reside. The Turrican suits worn previously by another hero in the first game, which is not nearly as good. And he pulls on the suits and he vows revenge against the machine and his empire, and thus begins Turrican 2. If you like Contra, you will like Turrican 2. It is many of the same types of power-ups. You will be this Space Marine. You have the ability to shoot with a weapon of various types. There is a spread gun, there is a bounce gun, there is a long laser beam. There's various different types, and the more power-ups you get of that particular ammo type, the more powerful the spread will be, or the bounce ammo will bounce, or what have you. The longer the beam will be. You also have this flamethrower type weapon, which you can hold very satisfyingly, by the way, with your joystick and move it around. You can move it around a great 360 arc. You can do just swaves of flame in the air. It looks really pretty. You can turn at any given time. This was actually limited in the first game, and it sucked. You can basically turn into this spiky wheel which can drop bombs in a Samus style. You can use it depending upon the type of terrain, maybe to climb up steeper slopes and move around faster. You can't be damaged when you're in that state as well, so you can use it tactically. There's all sorts of things going on. There's lots of hidden secrets, great platforming. There's stuff. If you go right to the far end of the levels, and then you can turn back, go up things into the sky, you can find all sorts of hidden things, screens above you from where you started if you just continue going on that way. There's little robotic walkers you can jump on Goomba style to kill them, which is incredibly satisfying. And it's just this endless thing. There's also, you get once per life an amazing super weapon where you turn into that spiked wheel and effectively become this spinning Catherine wheel of death. You just zoom around the screen at random, firing all the various beams, different types of weapons, dropping the bombs, and you can just destroy everything on the screen. It's not like a smart bomb thing. You do have to go. You do go around and think, but you're not in control. It's a hell of a thing. And there's just stuff everywhere. You go down into the depths, you go into caves, you go up into the sky. There's organic bits, there's techno bits, and it's just an extremely pleasing platformer, sci-fi, Contra-ish, but not very much not Contra game. It's great fun to play. There's great boss encounters. All the bosses really do require you to think about the way you use your weapon, whether or not it's that flamethrower, whether or not it's your general gun, whether or not it's the sort of wave of fire that you can do from the left and right hand side by pressing the space bar, and you've got like 3 of those every life. You can just do that, and it's that sort of a wave of death. You have to use those. Where are you positioned? How are you jumping? What's going on? There's so many secrets. There's so many different ways. There's levels where you're underwater. There's levels where you're going up like with a jetpack and you're trying to destroy things. Lots of the very tricky platformer levels. And at one point, randomly, you suddenly leap into a goddamn spacecraft that looks amazing, and then you suddenly end up in a shoot 'em up. And the first part, and you get 2 levels of that, 2 very specific levels. The first one is very slow. You're going through like the inside, the superstructure of a ship. And it's all very slow, and it's on rails. So you're going through, you're trying to move your ship around. You can't turn around because it's all very narrow corridors in here, and there's a very specific part where, because it's one of these like the wall is shifting in terms of the screen, and you can't go further back than that. There's a point where it deliberately pushes you into a dead end, which is on like an angle. So imagine it just like a triangle at the end of this wall. You have to get your ship, which is a sprite ship, lined up so that the front of your ship just goes into that triangle. Otherwise, you'll just lose all your health and die. You've got to be very precise. Very precise. And then, all of a sudden, you're going along, and something flies off the boss that you've just fought, like a bit of metal or something, and it strikes your ship that you've just been desperately protecting, and it hits the engine. And suddenly you're accelerating. You're accelerating very hard. You're suddenly at maximum speed this thing can do. Welcome to the next level, where you have to go through a very similar situation at maximum speed with all kinds of crap going on, unable to slow down. It is full pelt craziness. Absolutely. Oh god, there's no way not to take damage. It's up to you and complete skill level in order to survive. It is madness, absolute madness, and it just comes out of nowhere. Just, oh, did you enjoy your nice little peaceful technical thing? Well, guess what? Oh shit! Everything's going wrong. It's great atmospherics, and oh my god, the soundtrack. I own this soundtrack in about 3 or 4 different ways now for Turrican 2. The Chris Hulsbeck soundtrack, which I didn't realise this copy is signed. Okay. I don't remember when that happened. I guess that came from the Kickstarter for the soundtrack and for
added bonus.
I was going to say, unless you subconsciously met the man,
yes,
and got him to sign it.
Alternatively, I sleepwalked one night and I just went, yeah.
You sleepwalked to a con that he was attending.
But amazing pieces of music from listen to these for names. These are just all the various names of the tracks on Turrican 2, okay? The final fight, the Desert Rocks, G.I. Joe meets Space Patrol.
I can't believe they got it, right? I like the first track. I'm surprised they got away with, but that one, oh yeah. Boy, it's I'm surprised Hasbro hasn't hounded him for that.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Traps, Warhead, exploring secret dungeons.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Great Bath, which is obviously the one where you're underwater. It's a very different feel. It's great fun because you can leap in and out of the transition zone when you're in the water, and it goes.
I was going to say the Great Bath sounds like a stage for worms.
I can understand why you do that. Actually, it has Rock and Roll Band's Metal Stars, Check the Gripper, which is basically one of the mini boss fights with you against this giant claw. Like the claw. One of my favourites, Concerto for Lasers and Enemies. What a name that is. What a name that is. Go for the Gun Head, which is actually spelt wrong here, actually, I've just noticed. Unidirectional Flight, and then Powerslide into Hypercycle Drive. Which is that crazy space level. The Wall Dragon fight. You fight a massive dragon at one point. Hey, those cute little walkers. Wouldn't it have been absolutely terrible if there was a giant one that wanted to stamp on you?
Oh, hey.
One of the final ones is Go for the Nuke.
Yeah.
It's amazing. All
good life advice, that one.
Go for the Nuke. Well, maybe not this time. Yeah, it's great fun. I look forward massively to playing it. The Atari version was the best bit because it came on a white disc with cyan writing on it, like luminous cyan writing on it, and it got corrupted at one point. I couldn't play it, and I couldn't play it anymore. And it was so it's just so much fun for a game. The franchise as a whole was such a legal mess which is why it's great that we've got this collection. And it has come out and it is available on Switch.
And it's preserved. That's the main thing.
It may well have done a Friday the 13th Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street, actually, in terms of it's the final fright. Also, here's Turrican 3 or Mega Turrican, whichever one you want. But I gotta say, it's just joyous, and for me, it's one of the first games I really dedicated myself to. In terms of, I want to go fast through this. I want to complete this with a huge score. I want to complete this as fast as possible. I want to know the exact point in the first level where there's a waterfall underneath, and I want to know the exact point where I can turn into that spinning wheel and I will bounce down that waterfall on the inside across the rock face, and at the correct angle that I'll go through this tiniest of tiny gaps.
The pixel perfect speed
The
run
pixel
techniques.
perfect drop to get into the secrets, to just speed through the next section. It's so enjoyable. If you would like to see, again, this is a poor example, but an example nonetheless. If you would like to see Contra meets Metroid as a platformer, definitely check it out. Turrican is alright, but it never grabbed me like Turrican. There we go. That's the end of that. I will nip back very quickly to Minecraft, actually.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You know why Minecraft is also important? This is very relevant to our current times. Why Minecraft is important? It was the first time Microsoft realised they could buy success
Oh, okay.
in the games industry.
Yeah.
Because they bought that, and it has been a big success for them. They have. It was worth the investment, and now that's now a tactic.
Yep.
That's now something
that's
they
their
employ.
goal now. Is
So
to
it
buy
is-
the more successful.
So it is important on that side as well. But yes, lads, that is all of our games.
That is 20 games that we recommend because they might be our favourites, or at least somewhere in the top tier of our favourites.
20 games
Absolutely.
we can
And
recommend.
none of them duplicates.
No, that's true.
No.
Well, there's some from the same franchise and stuff
Some
like
from the
that,
same
but
franchise,
all
but no
different
duplicates
titles
at
for
all.
any of you to go through and experience yourselves and to get
you
your
can.
own thoughts.
Sadly, one of
if
mine
you've
is-
played these before or not and whatnot, you can give any of us a shout.
Absolutely.
To tell us your experience of any of the games that we've mentioned as our greatest games of all time.
Do you agree?
Our,
Do you
our
agree with our choices?
G goats, our G goats. That's what they're.
But,
And if you and if you want to take one piece of advice from this entire thing, from us all, it appears to be buy a GameCube
or a Wii.
Or a Wii, so you
that
can
does boot
play a
both.
GameCube game.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me for this lengthy discussion, but enjoyable one, hopefully. And thank you all for listening in. Hopefully you have enjoyed the show. We're going to try and make these somewhat regular. And by somewhat regular, I mean maybe one a quarter, because, we have other shows to fit in between, like LMC Cast.
We need to do 12 volumes of Villainous again.
But yes, my thanks to Kevin, ShadowFox, and Turbo for joining me.
It was a
Always
pleasure.
fun.
Indeed, pleasure.
ShadowFox and Turbo will probably return with me nearer the end of the year for our normal.
Yeah, we'll be back we'll be back speaking to you in about 5-6 months. People on Radio Sega will hear us towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Go and subscribe to LMC Cast for that, so you don't miss out. And go and see. You can find them. They're like the first or the last episode of a particular season.
Yes, true. Well, it's probably the last episode of one season and the first episode of the next season.
Probably. They're very good discussions. Go listen.
Yes. But in the meantime, we bid you adieu. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.